It's time for the one and the only show. It's the Luke Howard Show. Please welcome Luke Howard. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Oh, it's a beautiful day today, absolutely glorious. Welcome to the one and the only show. It's Monday the 15th of June. Now that date rings a bell to me, so we'll get to that in a moment. We're going to talk about shops, which is what it reminds me of. So we'll talk about that on the show in a moment. But first, I hope everyone's well. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. And welcome to a brand new week of the one and the only show, the Luke Howard Show. Got lots to look forward to on the show this week, including another interview from the one and the only Pierce Bloomfield. We're not quite sure what day it'll be. It could be any day. It could be tomorrow. It could be Wednesday. It could be Thursday. It could be Friday. We just don't know. But it'll be sometime this week, because I'm in touch with him all the time anyway during the week. So we will let you know when Pierce is going to talk again this week. So, let's kickstart by talking about what today is all about today, because shops are reopening back up. Yes, they are reopening back up, and they're introducing a system, okay? It's all going to be a one-way system. Now, to be honest with you, I haven't been to a supermarket since before this all began. I haven't been into a supermarket for months, but tomorrow I'm going to go to a few shops and get a few bits and bobs. So that will be, would you believe, four months since I last walked into a supermarket. Blimey, that's tomorrow. I shall be doing that, going into a supermarket, and it'll be a couple of more months since I actually went into one. How long ago has it been since you went into a supermarket? For me, it's been months, because I can't even really remember the last time I actually went into a supermarket. So it was a few months ago now, and they're introduced one-way system. And the thing is, I was listening to Penny Smith on Talk Radio over the weekend, and she was talking about that she hasn't seen her mum for a long time and all of that. And then she started saying about one-way, about how you're going to let people come into a shop and let people come out. And that is what, and I clicked there. And I thought, yeah. And I thought, oh, that's what I thought as well. So what they're going to do is, I think, are you going to stand in front of a door of a shop and then let someone out and then you go in? But they're saying 2 to 3 people at a time in one shop is okay, which is a good idea. But the thing is, how are they going to do it? Well, I mean, what they can do is they will sort it out and it will all be okay. It's just going to be 2 to 3 people in a shop at one time. So things are starting to slowly getting back to normal with shops, which is quite good actually. And I'm glad they're opening back up again. Which is good. Absolutely brilliant. So, let's talk about other things now, because the Boris Johnson is poised to ditch the 2-metre social distancing rule to help battered businesses bounce back from lockdown. So the Prime Minister will this week, of course, will set a date for lifting the restriction, and it could be as early as next month, would you believe? So scientists have drawn up a list of imaginative new ways to make it safer for people to work or socialise, of course, and it's of course within 1 metre of each other. Now, I'm not quite sure how far 1 metre is from where I'm sitting at my desk now. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe 2 metres. I'm not sure what 2 metres, how far it is, but I have got a sort of picture in my head about what it could be. But scientists have drawn up a list of new ways to make it safer for people to work or socialise within 1 metre of each other. Boris Johnson has also been spurred to grim predictions as of firms going to the wall with millions of job losses under current guidelines. So the move could be limit-limed for when the hospitality trade reopens in July. Mr Johnson is of course expected, but a lot of hospitality places have opened up, like I said on the show the other day, but they're only doing takeaways, so you can't go in and actually sit in a restaurant, which is a bit of a shame. But of course it's a good thing that you can just go in and get a takeaway. At least they're still open for takeaways, which is actually really good, so well done to them. So the move could be timed for when, the hospitality trade reopens in July this year, which is next month. Now, Mr Johnson is expected to make the cut confidential on a continued foul in the infection rate, and bosses are agreeing to alterate regulations. Now, Tory MPs and ministers have warned that only a third of pubs, restaurants and cafes will open for businesses if the 2-metre rule stays in place. The Chancellor, Ruby Sunak, who has been pushing for the chance given to the strangest hint, is yet that the PM is pictured, of course, would act. He told The Sun on Sunday, which is a newspaper, by the way, that the Prime Minister had said that he put out... No, I haven't got the Sun newspaper in front of me, I haven't, but this is on my script, because he did tell the Sun newspaper about this, which is one of the newspapers... of course, for those of you who don't know what it is, but I'm sure you do. Other countries have shown that it is possible to work with something slightly different. It just depends where you are on the trajectory of the virus. He's made good progress, and the PM is scrutiny aware of all that he understands. Absolutely, the difference it will make to shops and businesses, as he said, and small and large up and down in the country, of course. Some ministers are puzzled. Mr Johnson has kept the 2-metre rule when the World Health Organisation says that 1 metre is safe distance. The risk of catching this virus, though, is at 1 metre, and in 2.6% compared with 1.3% at 2 metres. But of course, with 2 metres, but it can be cut dramatically. But other measures such as wearing face masks or taking regular breaks, of course. Now, new research has showed that sitting 1 metre apart side by side, as is common in many offices, is just as safe as facing someone 2 metres away. Anyway, I mean, we go around our nans and we stand more than 2 metres away from them. We stand well away from them, well away. So even when she opens the gate for me, I stand right at the back of their road, right at the bottom of their road, sort of thing. But that's how far I stand back. So official advice has been studied by ministers. Outlines possible options to kickstart the economy, and it includes staggering working hours. And of course, I mean, you haven't got to do the full day of working. I mean, you can just do like a couple of hours a day, which sounds much better than, of course, a whole of a day. I mean, you can't do like 9 to 5:30 or 9 till 6, because I think 9 till 6 is a very long day, though, don't you think? I think it should be shorter than that, like maybe just 4 hours or something, or 3 hours or 2 hours a day, sort of thing. I mean, I don't start working till 6 o'clock in the evening. At the moment, well, doing stuff online and everything for other people and that. I mean, but I do try my best to do it as much as I can, because I've been so busy, because I've been taking up yoga, doing so much stuff, other things as well. But I still do get time to do work and other bits for the show and other bits and bobs as well. So it, of course, includes staggering working hours, as I just said, and, of course, group video conferencing and increased cleaning. Other ideas also included the use of antimicrobial services, replacing door handles with sensors, and click and collect for eateries instead of waiting staff. Which is a better idea, really, to be honest with you. A lot of people have got some really good ideas about what's been going on at the moment. So, okay. So, still zero cash for shielding workers, though, because vulnerable Brits have been told to shield at home, and they will not get any furlough cash, despite an assurance from the PM, the Prime Minister, of course. New government guidelines says that those with serious medical conditions who registered after June the 10th will not get help. So on Wednesday this week, then, Boris Johnson vowed to fix the morally, which is about 48 hours later, there was no change. So people who get a health diagnosis or are told to shield by their GP will not get a penny to make up for lost wages. So Shadow Treasury Secretary Bridget Phillipson, she said that broken promises is to protect shielding workers from this furloughing cliff edge, and will cause even greater anguish. This vulnerable group should be allowed to request to be furloughed if they cannot work from home, of course, and the new guidelines gives no such reassurance. But Dame Gillian Guy of Citizens Advice, he added, it's highly disappointing that the other night the Prime Minister is still working at this issue. Well, there you go. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah. So, now, the Labour mayor has filmed on a ladder helping with DIY at his lover's house. So while claiming his moral high ground to preach about obeying lockdown rules, Sir Peter Salisbury, 71, Mayor of Leicester, and an ex-MP Allergy drove 7 miles for overnight visits to the home of Leslie Summerland, 64. This was up to 4 times a week. Now, at the time, Britons were buried and visiting other homes, and on May the 1st, he tweeted, "Stay safe at home." Now, furious neighbours will film this visit, and one day it was all too blatant, and he is a hypocrite, apparently. Hypocrite. The papers have described him as a hypocrite, which isn't a very nice thing to say, to be honest with you. Sir Peter, Miss Summerland and Leicester City Council did not answer requests for comments. Just to let you know, the papers described him as that word, and I don't want to say that word again because I don't find that a very nice word, to be honest with you. So that is what the papers have described him. So, let's talk about something else now then, shall we? Let's move away, because I want to talk about Len Goodman. Okay, so Strictly Come Dancing legend Len Goodman. Now, he has told how growing vegetables during lockdown has helped save his marriage. So, Strictly Come Dancing legend Len Goodman has told how growing vegetables during lockdown helped save his marriage, basically. So the ex-hand judge, 76, said that he and second wife Sue, 55, had enjoyed time off work, working in their garden. He revealed that they had crisis talks in March as the COVID-19 crisis grew and came up with a strategy to keep busy. Balloon veteran Len, who left BBC One Strictly Come Dancing back in 2016 after 12 years, he was a wed dance teacher with Sue in 2012, but he's used to splitting his time between the UK and, of course, the US to take part in the similar show Dancing with the Stars. So he's got a new programme which is absolutely amazing called Dancing with the Stars in the US, so good luck to him. He said, "I think everyone was concerned about being isolated for months on end, so we did a plan of what we could do to save our marriage, really, because I thought just the two of us is God knows what would happen," he said. He told the Positivity podcast that we decided the priorities were to sort out the garden and grow some vegetables and salad stuff. So we're a little bit self-sufficient. And a lot of people have actually been going out and about, in the garden and doing lots of their garden. I'm walking around here and I've never seen brand near where I live, and there is so many beautiful gardens, right? So many beautiful gardens. People have had loads of time at this moment to go out and do their gardens, and they're beautiful. Loads of lovely gardens around where I live at the moment. Absolutely lovely. So, yeah, so he also said, and of course, figures show that Len had the right idea. The Co-op Legal Services has reported a 42% rise in divorce inquiries during lockdown compared with a year ago. So I think we should talk about then one more story. So Len Goodman, wow, he's been growing lots of salad and vegetables. Well, very, very, very good luck to him. Of course, he said, if this doesn't work, let's have a last mango in Paris. That sounds good. Okay, so that sounds funny, actually. It sounds quite funny. Okay, so 10 years jail for graffiti now. Now, yobs who attacked a war memorials and dubbed them with graffiti could face 10 years in jail. The Justice Secretary Robert Buckland, Home Secretary of Priti Patel, and Foreign General Sulu Braverman have discussed the move if it is reported. The blue-collar Conservatives group of MPs wants a clear signal. The party is proud of law and order and will not see the democracy dismultilated. There you go. One more story then. Shall we talk about one more story? The EU chiefs will be told to take it or leave it this week, and in talks aimed at the clinching of a Brexit deal. Boris Johnson will tell European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, the President Ursula from Saloon, in a high-level video conference meeting being held which is actually been held yesterday. It was held yesterday. So the PM did tell the Bluntry that she and her colleagues have had 6 weeks to real an agreement or Britain will leave without one on December the 31st. Now, we're talking about Brexit now then, are we? Sneaky, like we did the other day with Piers Bloomfield, sneaky out